All right, family. I'm back again. Hopefully, I look more alert this time. I think I looked a little drowsy or something earlier. I'm just so relaxed. I'm sitting under the fan. And nevertheless, we were talking about my TroTro experience, and I told you guys about the idiot that was in the back of the van with us. And again, he was just trying to encourage the guy that was collecting money not to give me my change back. For whatever reason. I don't know where that came from, but, I stayed on it. I got my change, said goodbye, kept it moving. So that was the only thing I think on the way there. On the way home, like I said, I think I mentioned we had the speed demon driving so fast, but he did get us back in record time. You know, there are no seatbelts. I didn't see anybody with seatbelts. There was a window missing from the side of the van. There was no roofing. When you have like the upholstery on the top of the van, there was no upholstery, but there was some faux Louis Vuitton tapestry going around. So, we had that designer element. And the windshield was cracked. And all I could think was, this brother is truly hustling, because in the States, there's no way he could have had that vehicle on the streets, right? Codes, he would never pass inspection to have his vehicle running like that. But it was moving and it was doing what it needed to do. How safe it was, I don't know. I mean, we made home safe, so I guess that's enough. So we changed to another van, and we get into the next TroTro. I'm calling it a van because it's like an old school mini Beetle type. I don't know if you remember the old Volkswagen vans. That's what these TroTros remind me of. And I believe it's TroTro. If it sounds like I'm saying Cho-Cho, I'm not. I think it's TroTro. Nevertheless, so we get into another van, and there's when we climb into the van, Sister Ya's in the front, the kids are in the next couple of rows, me and Amon are next to each other, and there's a sister in the back, a younger sister. And she has like 3 kids, maybe like a teenage daughter, who, beautiful girl, short haircut, and 2 little boys. And the one little boy, he's the baby, he's the youngest. He's not a little baby, but you can see he's probably like, I don't know, 1, 2, something like that. So he's miserable. The van is hot, it's not moving, and they're not gonna move until all the seats fill up. So he's getting pissed off, and he's giving his mom a hard time. And when the van driver finally pulls out, this kid has had it. Like at this point, he's just kind of flaring and throwing himself, and mom is trying to settle him, and she keeps, for some reason, she kept looking at me saying she was sorry, and I was like, it's okay. I actually had some Oreos that I opened, and I could feel like the kids looking at me, so I gave them some Oreo cookies. They said thank you. I only had like a few in the pack, but I gave some, each one of them a cookie. And Amon and I were munching. And then we took our fans out. We were kind of fanning ourselves. So you can see they were just curious about us, And the little boy kept going. I finally just turned to her, and it was like we made eye contact. And I said, is it okay? Can I touch him? And she just shook her head yes. And I proceeded he didn't have a shirt on, so I was rubbing his chest. And I said, it's okay, baby. I know you're warm. I know it's hot in here, and you just want to go home. I know. It's okay. It's okay, And I was just soothing him. And I don't know if he knew what I was saying or not, but sure enough, honey, that cry went from 100 to 75 to 50 to 40, and he was still kind of whimpering a little bit. And then I took my hand on his head, and I was rubbing the top of his head and doing like this. It's okay. It's okay. And for parents who know, that's the magic trick. Because when kids are tired and you keep closing the lid, it gets to the point where they're too tired to fight back, and they just leave the lid and they go to sleep. I used to do it to my son all the time. And sure enough, when I tell you, in a matter of seconds, this little boy was out and silent. All the ladies in the back of the bus was just looking like, wow. And the sister was like, he's asleep. Out. He's asleep. I said, yes, and he will sleep. And he'll stay asleep. And she kept saying, thank you, thank you. And I told her, I said, it's okay. This is my baby. And I pointed to my son, Amon. And she was like, your son? I thought that was your husband. I said, no, sweetie, this is my son. I explained to her that he was 18 years old and we were visiting, and that he was my only one. But I love children. I love children, especially when I see mothers struggling. And I know this sister probably was out there hustling. Now she had to grab up the kids and get everybody home. And it's not easy. And I think that as people, as women, as mothers, like, we are supposed to look out for each other. What is it for me to turn around from my seat and help her soothe her child? If I could have taken him in my lap, I would have, but it was too small, the van, and I would have just held him and rocked him. And with children, the trick is always to let them know that you hear them. I hear your frustration, and you have a right to be frustrated. But I can't do anything major right now, but I'm paying attention. I'm here, you're safe. And it was just sweet. It was sweet. I was happy that I could assist her. She was very grateful. We just kind of kept talking and just little chit chat, about visiting and being a mom and trying to handle children. I told her daughter how beautiful she was. I told the mother that she had a beautiful family, and I thanked her for letting me help her with her child. And we got off the van. It was cool. It just was an evening that ended really well. Outside of that, the TroTro was an interesting experience. I think you could have all kinds of experiences. Like, I even had on the very last TroTro, which was the one I was on with this mother and her children, when we were waiting for the van to fill up, dude had a whole gospel ceremony going on the radio. Gospel music, as the other one coming back from the Volta River, his was jamming with every kind of music you could think of. Reggae, rhythm, he had everything playing. So you got the whole club experience when you're in those vans. You have the socializing experience with people you never met. I remember at one point, and when we first left, I had opened up that pack of Oreos I was talking about. When I was in the other van, I was finishing the Oreos. And for some reason, cookies and snacks taste different here to me, like it's the original, Because I haven't eaten an Oreo in I don't know how long, but I had them for mine, and we were out a while, and I just wanted something sweet. So I opened up the pack, and the man was sitting right next to me.